What a do, gang. Lady Nostalgia bestowed another gift upon me. She quite literally sniped me with another blast from the past. Dink SmallWood, released in 1998 and developed by 3 dudes. Dink SmallWood is freeware now. In fact, it has been freeware since 1999. Why enjoy modern babes when you can fiddle with an ancient piece of ass nobody remembers anymore? I'll tell you why. You have to pay for the fresh stuff. The new shit costs money. Money you must make one way or another. The 24-year-old stuff, it's free. And it's old news, covered in dust and cobwebs, forgotten by all but the select few, such as myself. You can do with it as you please, and no one will bat an eye. Stick around until the end of the video for a surprise guest. Also, this video is overflowing with spoilers. In fact, it probably can't even be classified as a review anymore. Dink SmallWood is a short action-adventure game with some light role-playing elements, an AALRPG, if you will. Dink SmallWood isn't just the name of the game, it's also the name of the protagonist. Protagonist who is a pig farmer and is generally looked down upon by the womenfolk. Milder, a strapping young lad, presumably from your village, becomes a knight, and the ladies simply dig him. Dink's jealousy reaches a boiling point, and to expel all his frustration he goes outside to pick some nuts. Nuts which are the catalyst for your mother's home burning down. Why did the nuts do this? We might never know. What we do know, however, is that with your mother's lifeless corpse just laying there, you are unleashed upon society to lay waste. Lay waste to the local flora. There are so many trees to burn down. But why, George? Why set them ablaze? To reveal secrets. Secrets such as extra health or some shady guy teaching you bow mastery for a price. A price which at first seems ridiculous. 1,500 pieces of gold. But eventually you become powerful enough to slay stronger beasts that net you more gold. And you become rich. Rich enough to master the art of archery. The art which, in retrospect, was utterly fucking useless. See, bows are slow and inaccurate.
'Tis but a scratch.
Bows are for lesser men scared of confrontation. Real chads don't give a fuck about getting in harm's way. They punch and slash their way to victory despite the constant pain inflicted upon them by plump bugs, small or large. Bloodthirsty carpets or massive tadpoles that never evolved into full-fledged toads are no match for the real niggas. Quests are few and far between, and gameplay mostly consists of running around to explore the unassuming map and farming, grinding for valuable XP and gold. You might be thinking that slaying dragons would net you some pretty good XP, possibly even the most XP out of anything you can kill, and while I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, you would be incorrect. Processing this defenseless fat pig gives you 5,000 experience. For comparison, this dangerous ironclad silverback awards you with 400. The game can be broken down into chapters. Chapter 1, which we pretty much covered already. Chapter 2, wherein you learn spells and save your aunt from her somewhat controlling and somewhat unstable husband, Jack. Free some guy from a dungeon, which can be terrifying the first time you enter it, because the game has what I like to call a fuck you mechanic, where if you enter a screen with tough enemies present, you will get trapped within that screen until everything except of Dink ceases to draw breath. During this chapter, you also rescue a missing girl. She was kidnapped by Bishop Nelson to worship the DDC, otherwise known as Dead Dragon Carcass. Naturally, upon disrupting their session, all the women transform into vicious and bloodthirsty tadpoles, while Nelson himself turns into a heavily mutated anteater. Chapter 3 consists of foiling the cast's plans of slaughtering an entire town for reasons unbeknownst to me. But it's okay, I like the mystery. It's Lovecraftian. You do this by killing every living, breathing and shitting creature of color, cock for short, residing in the Goblin Sanctuary. Dink, you've turned into a monster. What have these green-skinned creatures done to you? Is Dink racist? We may never know, but it sure is an important question. One we must ask, and cannot take no for an answer. Chapter 4 throws a puzzle at you. Town of Windmere is in trouble. Its inhabitants are starving. I wouldn't blame you for thinking it's because of a drought or some disease killing livestock. Citizens of Windmere, however, are starving because it's duck worship season, and they give away all their food to their waterfowly overlords. And much like the Antichrist from Mandela Catalog, you must reverse the delusion by slaughtering a bunch of pre-cooked ducks. Dink gets shit done. Dink SmallWood, a free-to-play AAL RPG, doesn't take itself seriously at all, possibly even to a fault, which, if I were a betting man, I would say was the reason it ended up as freeware only a year after its original release.
Bet you didn't see that one coming, huh?
Go on, give in to the benevolent Lady Oh, no, I misspoke. It's Brother Nostalg, the fair lady's male alter ego. They are one and the same, and yet separate. Thanks for the idea, Miyazaki. I could go on and quickly dash through the last chapter of the game, but I choose not to. I am cutting the review short to reflect the length of the game, completion of which at a normal pace took me between 4 and 5 hours. And that's only because I was stuck in the village of Windmere. Why was I stuck? I completely forgot about the existence of bombs. See, you just never have to use them. You get a fireball right at the start of chapter 2, and so it never even occurred to me that I should spend my hard-slaughtered money to blow up this cracked rock, of which existence you are made aware by beating the ever-loving shit out of this apple tree. You can even bet on illegal duck fights, and after you lose too much gold, you can just commit genocide against their entire species. It's honestly great. Go on. Explore this crazy little world. Immerse yourself in these peaceful tracks. I highly recommend you download and play this game. What if you never played Dink SmallWood? You should still give it a go. The writing is quite entertaining, even ridiculous at times. It's a light game that doesn't require much effort. It's pleasant in its simplicity and is definitely worth the trip down the memory lane, especially since it's free. Dink SmallWood, feeder of pigs, picker of nuts, exterminator of bugs, destroyer of dragons, slayer of uncles, savior of damsels, and vanquisher of evil, must save the kingdom by venturing to the Shadowlands and beyond in order to kill the Ancient One, the embodiment of evil itself. Enjoy the final battle in all its glory, spruced up with voice acting. Milder! Milder! Can you hear me?
Big Farmer, is that you?
Yes. No. I mean, tell me what happened.
I was left here to die by a monstrosity.
By the cast?
No. The cast were just a front. He is pure evil. Run before it's too late.
I will not leave without you, Milder.
But why? I was so mean to you as a kid.
It is the honorable thing to do.
You are more of a knight than I ever was, Dink.
Nonsense. Can you walk?
I think so. Take my... No! It's him!
What the... Who the hell are you?
I am the beginning and the end.
Kill him, Dink. Kill him!
I am everything you love. I am everything you despise.
You are sick and twisted, is what you are.
His name is Seth. He is an ancient one. He killed the others.
Milder! For God, the crown, and all that is good, I shall destroy you, Seth.
You are just like me, you know, Dink. That kinda tickled. I could finish you now, but this raver amuses me. You are starting to annoy me now. Listen to the birds. Even they are calling for your heart. I felt that. I felt that. I felt that. Feel my wrath.
Too bad I had to kill him. He seemed likable enough. My body is tingling. I must now get back to Good Heart Castle and inform the king. Poor Milder. Review brought to you by Lubomir Mitkov on Patreon. Be like Lubomir. Come and pledge your allegiance to the degeneracy via Patreon or by joining our Discord server. Links to both are in the description.
Dearest Lubomir, you must abide alone a while. Welcome, honored guest, to the birthplace of my Patreon.